Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. If you're new to our channel, a quick introduction. My name is Yogi and my wife Seema and I, we both achieved financial independence and decided to take this big bold step of retiring early. Now, we've been for the last almost 7 or 8 years, a big follower of this FIRE philosophy. This is this financial independence, retire early. But interestingly, we see that couple of financial concepts of this FIRE philosophy before retirement are very different after retirement. So that's what I'm going to do. That in this video, I'll address a few of those financial aspects of FIRE that we see different. But before I do that, a humble request: if you've not subscribed onto the channel, please do subscribe if you find the videos useful. Because it gives us a good idea that what kind of audience we have, and then we can make content related to that audience. And as we've explained in a couple of our other videos, this is more of a hobby job that we really enjoy creating this content and mostly engaging with people. And for that, my request would be that please do comment on the videos, because that level of engagement helps us to learn from you while also helping you towards your own journey. And your comments also help others who are engaging on the video, and they also see how the others are faring in their own journey to financial independence and during their retirement years. Back to the topic. So the first difference that we see before and after retirement of FIRE philosophy is about complexity of finances. Before retirement, you're in wealth accumulation phase, and after retirement, you're in wealth decumulation phase, that you're withdrawing money. Our experience says that wealth accumulation is relatively simple, while wealth decumulation, that is withdrawals, is relatively complex. And let me explain. Before retirement, you're basically saving money, you're investing money. And yes, it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and career growth and 17 or 16-hour days to be able to have that journey. But financially, it is relatively simple. You save that money and you invest that money in certain assets, you diversify that money. And what you're primarily doing is that you're riding the wave of the markets going up and down, because you're dollar cost averaging by these systematic investment plans, SIPs, or your regular recurring investments. You're on the positive side of the sequence of returns risk, which I explained in one of my earlier videos, because how you're riding the wave. And for certain assets that you've already invested, you're in this buy and hold strategy, that you've invested that money, and then it doesn't matter over a 10-year, 15-year period of the markets are going up or down, because then you'll get the benefit of the averages after 10 to 15 years. So it's comparatively simple, even if it takes a lot of effort to do that saving and investment. On the other hand, after retirement, yes, you're enjoying the fruits of those labor that you did earlier by having, like I'm having coffee in middle of the working week, enjoying a nice sunny breeze here in Thailand. So you're enjoying that, but it's much more complex to decumulate money. And how it is complex is because you have to take judgments about which bucket of money or which investment should you withdraw from. At what period should you cash out from a certain investment? How much should you rebalance? And what frequency should you rebalance? Because all these decisions make a big impact on your portfolio. And this is also the time when the sequence of return risk has the biggest impact. So if you're caught on the wrong side of sequence of returns risk, you have a serious chance of running out of money if you've not done your decumulation strategy or withdrawal strategy in a proper manner. Even if you have a good, safe withdrawal rate, doesn't matter, because those withdrawal strategy, rebalancing strategy, everything matters during the decumulation stage. So that is the reason that I say that, look, during the retirement stage, if you've not only invested in money during your before retirement, but you've also invested in your financial skills, both pay off. So in your financial independence days, make sure that you are also investing in all these financial acumen. And I hope the videos that we are making here are contributing, even if a little bit, towards building that personal finance acumen, as well as helping towards those retirement years. So this is the first one. The second one linked to this is the cutoff between success and failure before retirement financially in FIRE philosophy is very different from the cutoff and definition of success and failure post retirement. So, before retirement, let's say you set a target that yes, by the age of 40, you want to retire and you want to build a certain corpus by the age of 40, let's say 10 crores or $10 million or whatever currency or whatever number comes to your mind. But let's say that you do not meet that goal, that instead of 40, it needs another 2 years for another 3 years for you to retire, so that you're not doing this 40, you're doing it at 43 or 44. Or that by the age of 40, you've not hit your target of 10 crores or 10 million or whatever, but you've done 9. So does that mean it's a failure? No, you've been fairly successful. That maybe you did not retire at 40, you did it at 43. Maybe you did not save 10, but you saved 9. But it's still success, because it's just that you needed to save a little bit more, or you were 10% lower than your target that you had set for yourself. So you will not basically sit in a corner crying your heart out that you've been a failure. You've been a very good success if you've been able to do that. But the definition of failure and success during retirement is pretty black and white. If you either run out of money or you end up with leaving some money or a lot of money by the end of your lifetime. And you don't want to be in a situation that you run out of money. So even if in your lifetime, let's say, is of 90 years, by the age of 85 and 6 months to go, you've run out of money. That's still a big failure. You may say, hey, I'm within the 10% or even 3% margin of my numbers. You can't be a success because you've run out of money. You do not know where the next meal will come from. And by the way, we don't even know if we live 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, whatever. The impact of failure and the cutoff between success and failure during retirement is very visible. And that is another reason that the first point that I mentioned about the decumulation is a lot more complex, because it needs a lot more diligence to monitor that. Because you don't want to be in a situation of that black and white success and failure situation. While during your journey to financial independence, during your wealth creation stage, doesn't matter if there is a plus minus 10%, 15% variance, because you can always work for 1 or 2 years more, or whatever, 3 years more, to be able to do whatever your target was. So just be aware of that and be careful of that. And yes, there are many, many ways in which you can mitigate the risk of achieving that failure during the retirement years. And we've talked about that in many of our videos, be it about bucket strategy, be it about emergency fund, be it about diversification of not just assets, but markets and currencies, etc., be it about managing the sequence of returns, risk, etc. But overall, the message is on that make sure that you keep building your financial acumen. So that is the second difference. The third difference, before and after, at least this has been our personal experience, is about the value of the corpus and this so-called 4% rule. Because when we started this journey, or at least whenever we got to be aware of this FIRE philosophy, we started that time taking 4% rule as almost like a strict rule that you have to have 4%, because all the studies that were done were saying that if you have a percentage above 4%, there is a chance that you may even have 2% of failure chance during retirement, and you don't want even that 1% of failure chance during retirement. But post-retirement or after retirement, we've realized that 4% rule is nothing but just a rule of thumb. It gives you an understanding of where you stand. And the reason it is a rule of thumb is because there are lots of variables that are very personalized towards you. What is your age at what you're retiring? Where are you retiring? How much is your passive income? What is your pension that you're retiring with? So just as an example, let's say that you are retiring at the age of 63, and you, or let's say even before that, let's say even at our age that you're retiring at 50, but at 63, your state pension kicks in. And that state pension takes care of till the end of the lifetime a certain amount. So that means that it gives you a lot more flexibility on that percentage versus having zero pension. So there are lots of variables about that, the taxation part, the place that you're retiring, your expenses, one-off expenses that you may have. And that is the other reason that we keep saying, please do not follow a corpus number that you see. I think the most asked question that we still get on the videos is, what's your corpus or what should be my corpus? The common answer we give is that, look, our corpus cannot help your number, and your corpus will have to be determined by your circumstances. So always treat this 4% rule as a rule of thumb, and also not follow someone else's corpus. And we realized this because we also fell for this around 6-7 years back when we were starting this journey of FIRE, or at least getting aware of FIRE. The first thing we also did was finding out what is the big magic number with which you retire. And slowly over time, and especially during retirement now, we realized that there is no single magic number, and there is no 4% as a hard and fast rule. It could be 2%, it could be 2.5%, 3%. It also depends on the legacy that you want to leave behind. So this is a big difference that we see before and after retirement. The last big contrast that we see before and after retirement is that before retirement, at least again, it could be just us. Our thinking was that you save diligently, you invest, you work hard, you grow your career, and like I keep saying, that try and 2x your income every 5 years. We were on this path, and we were thinking that, as the American saying says, that look, you'll reach or you'll find El Dorado, or that dreamland. And we thought that it'll be like a happily ever after, that you've achieved FIRE, and after that you can just take a big sigh of relief. Now, yes, you can relax, you can enjoy nice days of just relaxing post retirement, but the journey is not happy, just happily after ever after from a financial perspective once you retire, because the journey just actually starts. You have to still be very diligent on the portfolio. You have to still constantly monitor. You have to still see how you're going to rebalance. You have to still see that you do not have any chance of failure into your portfolio, as I mentioned earlier. You have to see that, look, what would be your withdrawal rate, and if you need to tweak that withdrawal rate over the years. So yes, being on top of your finances even during post-retirement is imperative and important. Yes, that hard work that you did, non-financial hard work of working, having a professional career, that definitely changes into things like golf and just enjoying wine courses or hiking and other things that you, whatever passions that you have. But make sure that you do not leave eye of the ball once you retire on your financial portfolio, as well as your overall thinking that, look, now it's done and dusted. No, it isn't. It's the journey continues. So I hope that these 4 points give you some insight based on our personal experience, what the differences are on this FIRE philosophy post retirement versus before retirement. And if there is a fifth one or the sixth one that comes to your mind, please do share in the comments. Would love to hear your thoughts even on these 4 points. And as always, we'll try and make sure that we reply to each and every thought and comment of yours. So till the next video, till the next topic, and till the next location, goodbye from me. Bye-bye.